This is Digital Trends Live. I'm Greg Nibbler, and we like to keep you up to date on everything that's going on in the world of technology, and that includes unboxing brand new products. Things like, I don't know, a new Samsung phone, and in particular, a fold phone, the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold2. Standing by right now, we have our mobile editor, Andrew Martinick, who has this phone in hand. I see it right there. And Andrew, thanks. Welcome to the show. I'm excited to see this unboxing myself.
You. Yeah, I know. It's when it's a $2,000 phone, which even by today's standards is pretty crazy. You get excited, and they give you a box that's twice the size of what any other phone's box is, and of course they make it really, really fancy, and they give you changing the shape of the future, obviously, because you got to feel very important when you buy a phone that's this expensive. But here's the biggest thing that everybody wants to know, and it tells you right out of the box. This is how you have to take care of a foldable phone. You have to read all sorts of this is how you don't break it instructions, but we don't really care about those things in the immediate unboxing phase. So yeah, this looks like a Samsung phone and then another Samsung phone like connected to it. So you get all this gross plasticky stuff off and all the warnings because you don't care about that stuff. And here you are. This is a phone that you fold in half. And obviously we've seen the first Galaxy Fold last year. You may have even seen a lot of the controversy about it falling apart and getting lots of stuff in the hinge and not being able to operate in anything less than ideal conditions. This one is dramatically more beefed up. So on top of the redesign and this nice mystic bronze exterior and this matte glass and everything that's really nice about it, they really beefed up the screen. You have a full glass screen on the outside, and then on the inside, you're getting an ultra thin glass. You see, I do the little air quotes there, screen covering over the foldable display. Obviously, it's not actually glass like you're used to on a regular phone, but of course your phone doesn't do that. So it is a little bit of a mind bender for anybody that hasn't seen one of these yet, which is most people, I understand. I'm not jaded about this, even though I have seen a couple of these. I'm really, really excited for this one.
Well, taking a look at that too, and as you've got it in your hand, how does it feel as far as how heavy is it? Does it feel like it's sturdier than maybe that other one did?
Very. So the big change here is that, this is still the same overall design. You'd notice pretty thick. It's like two phones on top of each other, and it's a bit heavy. It's 280-ish grams, whereas the biggest phones out there are kind of in the low 200 range, a Galaxy Note 20 Ultra, for example. So it is pretty thick and heavy, but the big change here is all within this hinge mechanism. It's dramatically tighter, so you can actually open it up and it stays at whatever hinge angle you hold it to. So it's kind of like a laptop, kind of like a Microsoft Surface kickstand out on the back. You can put it anywhere between 75 and 115 degrees. And then of course the upside of that is also when you click it flat, it really is flat, and it's locked flat. So you can hold it upside down, you can wiggle it around, it doesn't go anywhere. That dramatically increases the robustness and kind of takes away a little bit of the fear of when you're holding this thing that it's kind of flopping around or is loose. You couldn't do this with the old one before, and that it makes it feel like a $2,000 piece of technology, frankly.
Yeah, that hinge definitely seems way more secure than the other one. One thing I know on the last one that a lot of people pointed out, when that first Fold came out, is the actual fold down the middle. It was pretty noticeable on the screen itself. How does it look on this one?
The other part of that hinge there is that because it locks open, the fold or the crease, whatever you want to call it, I know it's kind of a bad word to have when you're talking about technology or something this expensive, but the crease is still noticeable. That's just kind of the reality of this situation because you have a multi-layer. It's obviously, it doesn't really show up on camera, which kind of goes against what I'm saying here, but this is actually a good sign. If it doesn't show up as well on camera, then you're not going to notice it as much. It's really when you're in direct sunlight, the light hits it. You can see it on lighter backgrounds. Maybe you're scrolling in Chrome or Twitter or Gmail where it has a light gray or white background. You notice it a lot more. But at the same time, Samsung is really pushing using side-by-side apps as the 7.6-inch display. So when you put two apps side by side, you get that division right down the middle, and you don't notice the crease as much because that's going to be a line between the apps as you move things across. You're not going to be doing a ton of viewing of just a home screen like this or one app across the whole thing. The idea is you kind of multitask and use that big screen to its largest effect by splitting up tasks.
Nice. One quick final question too on it as far as the internals. Is it a Snapdragon 865, or what kind of processor does it have, memory and all that?
Yeah, so basically it's just jumped up to be a Galaxy S20 / Galaxy Note 20 kind of on the inside, which is great. Before you were getting a little bit of a hodgepodge of specs, but it's really a Galaxy S10, and they were still selling this phone up until earlier this year with Galaxy S10 level specs. Now you're getting an 865, you're getting a ton of storage, you get the same kind of dual speakers. Displays on the outside, which is much larger now, and on the inside have there's a 120 hertz refresh rate on the inside like the S20 series. So this triple camera pod, which you're seeing all over Samsung phones right now, it's much closer to the Samsung S20 setup. So you have a more modern, regular ultra wide and telephoto camera. Nice little small hole punches for the front-facing cameras rather than a big notch. It all feels dramatically more modern, and once again, kind of worth the money at this point, considering that those phones already cost upwards of $1,400 on their own.
Yeah, $2,000. I would want top of the line everything on that, but it's definitely cool looking. It certainly looks, they've definitely an improvement over that last one. And I know that you're going to have a full review of it that'll be up at Digital Trends as well, kind of going through everything and your experience with it. I'm excited to see how you use it just in real life situations and what you find useful out of that. It's cool, but it's like, what all do you do with it? So that's going to be really interesting to see. And Andrew, thank you for joining us too to talk about this. And I know it's your first time on Digital Trends Live, so I appreciate you being here to walk us through that.
Of course, first of many, hopefully. And I'm really excited to get into this one as well. It's not every day that you get something that's this different from the status quo of smartphones right now.
Very cool. Well, Andrew Martinique right here on Digital Trends Live. So there you go. That is the Galaxy Z Fold2. Kind of a hands-on unboxing. You get to see it here with us. You'll see that full review at digitaltrends.com.